Have you ever looked at a map of Europe and noticed something a little off? There's Monaco, a country so small you can walk across it in 45 minutes, sitting right in the middle of the French Riviera. There's Liechtenstein, a country that most people couldn't point to on a map, with no army, no airport, and a per capita income higher than the United States. There's Vatican City, a country entirely surrounded by another country, the size of a golf course, run by a single man in white robes, with diplomatic relations with 183 nations. And there's Andorra, co-ruled right now today by a medieval bishop and the president of France. These are the microstates of Europe, and they are sitting right next to Germany, France, Italy, empires that spent centuries conquering everything in sight. So how are they still here? Monaco was started by a family that stole a fortress in 1297. For the next 4 centuries, the Grimaldis played France against Spain and Spain against France, always offering just enough loyalty to whoever was dominant to avoid getting crushed. When the power shifted, Monaco shifted with it. By the 1800s, though, Monaco was broke. The French Revolution had gutted the Grimaldis. Nearby towns had voted to join France. Charles III, the ruling prince, had one move left. He built a casino. Gambling was illegal in France and Italy. Monaco made it legal. The Monte Carlo Casino opened in 1863, and the money started flowing. Then Charles III did something that cemented Monaco's survival forever. He abolished income tax. That single decision, made 155 years ago, is still why billionaires move there today. The whole modern survival strategy of a medieval con job. Make yourself so financially useful to rich people that your powerful neighbors never want you to disappear. It worked, and it's still working today. San Marino is the oldest republic on Earth, founded in 301 AD. The origin story is almost too good. A stonemason named Marinus fled a false accusation. A woman claiming he was her estranged husband climbed a mountain, built a chapel, and accidentally started a country. But here's the real reason San Marino survived everything that followed. It was never worth taking. The mountain was hard to attack. The land wasn't farmable. Every larger power around it found San Marino more useful as neutral ground than as a conquest, so they left it alone for 1700 years. Napoleon came through in 1797. Instead of absorbing it, he wrote a letter guaranteeing its independence and even offered to expand its territory. But San Marino turned him down. More territory meant more borders to defend, more reasons for someone to eventually want it. Their strategy was the opposite of every empire around them. Stay small, stay unthreatening, stay standing. It worked. Through the unification of Italy, through 2 world wars, through the entire Cold War, San Marino just kept being too small and too inconvenient to bother with. 3 million tourists visit every year, nearly 100 times the entire population. The oldest republic in the world, still governed by 2 captains regent who are elected every 6 months and can never immediately serve again. The dual leadership traces back to the Roman consulate, 2 heads of state to check each other, short term so nobody accumulates too much power. For most of the Vatican's history, the Pope wasn't just a religious leader, he was a king. The Papal States covered a massive strip across central Italy, 16,000 square miles. He had his own army and levied his own taxes. Then Italy unified and simply took it. In 1870, troops marched in and the Pope's empire was gone. Pope Pius IX's response: refused to acknowledge any of it. He declared himself a prisoner in the Vatican and didn't leave. His successor didn't leave either, or the one after that. For 59 years, 4 consecutive popes, the papacy maintained a single position: we don't accept this. Then Mussolini needed the church's legitimacy, and the church needed a country. They made a deal. The Lateran Treaty of 1929 created Vatican City, 110 acres, 800 people, the smallest sovereign state in the world. Italy gave the Pope his country back, and in return the Pope recognized Italy. 59 years of standoff over in an afternoon. Mussolini thought he'd neutralized the papacy. He reportedly said, quote, "We have not resurrected the temporal power of the popes. We have buried it." Vatican City today has diplomatic relations with 183 countries. The Pope addresses more people in a single appearance than most world leaders reach in a year. The 110-acre country Mussolini invented to end an argument turned out to have more soft power than any nation on earth per square foot. In 1866, Liechtenstein went to war. They sent 80 soldiers to guard an Alpine pass during the Austro-Prussian War. The men sat in the mountains, drank wine, and watched the conflict from a comfortable distance, and came home when it was over, with 81 men. They left with 80. An Austrian liaison officer had apparently made friends and decided to join the march home. 0 battles and 0 casualties. 1 new guy. 2 years later, Liechtenstein looked at its military, decided it was expensive and unpopular, and disbanded the whole thing. No army since 1868. They've been accidentally invaded by Switzerland twice. Swiss troops wandered across the unmarked border in 2007, realized their mistake, and left. Liechtenstein did not retaliate. Today, it's home of 37,000 people and has a per capita income pushing 140,000 a year, higher than the US and higher than Germany. The map of Europe was drawn by whoever had the biggest army, but the places that actually survived weren't the ones that fought the hardest or held the most land. They were the ones that figured out that being small, useful, and impossible to replace was worth more than being powerful, that the right deal signed at the right moment could outlast every empire around them. And somehow, across centuries and empires and 2 world wars and the entire modern reshaping of the global order, they're still here. Thanks for watching.